So he was all, I think this Punisher is better. And I was like, well, I don't disagree with you, but I cannot completely agree with you.
Which Punisher?
Oh, he was referring to the Tom Jane Punisher, which I figure is more of like the origin story than, any value of better. It's just as good as the rest of them.
Hopefully we don't get stuck. I've never watched that old one. That original one?
Oh, Dolph Lundgren?
I've heard good. But I've never watched it. I've got a copy of it. I've never watched it.
I feel it holds up well, just not as well as people expect, unless you view it as like an art house film where it's like, this is him 20 years in the future. He's been doing this for too long. He's ragged. He's psychologically worn down, and then it makes sense.
Well, that sounds like War Journal.
Well, I feel War Journal was more like, he's 5 to 10 years in. He's got a system down. He's been grizzled from war for decades, and now he's doing this right before he loses his shit, and we get Dolph Lundgren.
Okay.
And then, of course, I also just have to add fuel to the fire. I forget the gentleman from Shane from The Walking Dead. That cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
His Punisher TV show and appearance in Daredevils was like, this was like all but year 1 to 5 stuff. Like, this is right after the Tom Jane movie or something. It was like, you could put it in between or sandwich it between each one of them, and it would be like the comics were. It'd be like a throwback story in a different time where we didn't get to see all of that of him. I feel like it's number 2 or it's in between all 3.
No, I get that. I mean, I thought his was great. I wasn't a big fan of his Jigsaw.
Oh, you talking about the War Journal's Jigsaw?
No. War Journal's Jigsaw was spot on for me. I'm talking about...
I felt it was comic campy, but yes, I agree.
But the one that was in the Netflix one was awesome, but I thought he looked too pretty boyish. Jigsaw, I feel like he should have been more... not look so clean.
Less refined or something? Disheveled, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, like, you've seen it. So
yes.
You know how clean... I know he was cut up, but the cuts were not that bad.
They took a stylized approach to making him less grotesque,
yes.
I guess.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to say it. But both of them were great. War Journal was a little harder to watch. For me, it was harder to watch just like I wanted to watch it. I kind of forced myself on some parts of it to watch just because it got a little dry for me.
Same, but it fills a need. It's bread.
But
what's his name? The guy that played Volstagg the Voluminous in the Thor movies. He was the guy that played him. I thought he did well. However, I agree, some parts were hard to chew.
The guy from not the first, but I guess technically the second Punisher, when was it Dan? What's his name?
Which guy? I forget.
The guy from Pulp Fiction, Wild Hogs, that guy.
Oh, you're talking about the Irish guy from Sons of Anarchy or whatever?
No, he was the baddie in the Punisher movie.
Yeah.
He ends up getting dragged through the parking lot with C4, everything blowing up.
Wait. Oh, you're talking... Yeah, the Tom Jane John. What's his name? I can't remember him. Travolta.
Yes. That movie I thought was great.
No, agreed.
But I was bummed out about the way it ended.
I mean, the Travolta stuff was a bit much for me. However, he still pulls it off.
No, he did great. Like, I'm not arguing with that. Like, so, like, when he went against the guy who played the guitar.
Yes, Harry Heck.
Like, I thought that was a great fight. I thought that was a great thing.
Such an artful scene.
It was but I was a little bummed out about the car, but I'm also, I like antiques, so I'm a little biased on that.
I feel you.
I feel like that was a great fight, and then it cut short.
Well, it was too good to go on.
But then, like, I don't know. There's a bunch of movies that I have trouble watching because of it, like that.
Sometimes,
Hellboy.
Yeah, the new one. Have you seen the new one? Oh my god.
I wouldn't have a problem with him. I was talking about like the first Hellboy movie.
Oh yeah.
And like, remember the guy, the monster that would like once one dies, two would be born.
Yes.
That fight was that first one where he uses the first time you see the Good Samaritan gun and all that stuff.
First Ron Perlman movie.
Yes, that first fight was awesome.
Selma fucking Blair.
The last fight at the end of it, where he gets pulled and then the grenades, and you're like, that's it? The first fight was so much better than this. It should have built up and had like an epic fight. No, it was...
They didn't do it for a credit sequence at the beginning.
Yeah.
No, I agree. You know what movie I agree with that specific complaint? Solomon Kane. It was so okay until it was just over.
Solomon Kane.
You're thinking, I'm going to sit through this ride. It's some DC character they made a movie about. I only watched it recently. Some, like, damned privateer.
I don't know why. I know it's not, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. That makes me think of Max Payne.
Kind of. I feel that. That kind of makes me feel like the prototype video game? And also, there was another video game with like a blood circus. Just vampire shit. I don't know why I went there. I don't know.
Bloodborne? No, Blood Rain?
Nah. Bloodborne may have been one of them. A prototype Bloodborne or some spin-off thereof. Everybody's doing these things. I don't know.
Is it Blood Rain? The vampire with the really cool blades?
Oh no, I loved her. I never played her games though.
The first movie wasn't bad. It wasn't.
I've got them queued up. I'm going to watch them.
I haven't watched the second one or the third one.
They look dicey, but I'm going to watch them. I'm saying yes to things. I'm trying new shit.
There you go. That's the way to do it. But, talking about the Punisher, I know I've watched a bunch of, like, people say Punisher versus this or that person versus this. I'm going to throw one out there, and I really don't know. Okay. Punisher versus Robocop.
Oh, I don't know. If we're talking just based off of the movies alone and not comics.
The OG movie?
All of the movies. Any of
the movies. No. I mean, like Robocop. Are you talking about just the first movie when it's just him, or when he gets the grenade the gauntlet with the grenade launcher and machine gun?
I haven't watched enough Robocop recently enough. I just remember a few specifics, like the handful of extra weapons that pop out, or the chance when he just like overloads and overclocks his battery and like does some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Or he's also got jetpack.
I think someone told me about that recently. I did not know he ever had access to a jetpack.
It was, I think, in the third movie.
Oh wow.
And then I remember there was a TV show which I just found out like maybe a week or two ago. I did not realize they had a TV show.
All right.
And then, of course, you got the new one.
Did they already make those?
What?
The new Robocops, like rebooted or something?
They made one new Robocop, and that one it wasn't bad. It was kind of weird. So, I don't know, I guess I have a problem with a bracelet saving your life.
Yeah.
But I understand the concept, but
I don't like John Wick's coats. Like, oh, you can't hit me with bullets. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay,
it looks like kids saying, my clothes are bulletproof and yours ain't, see?
Yeah. So the first one, if you were on the board of directors or you're on this certain committee, Robocop couldn't touch you, he couldn't shoot you, he couldn't do nothing.
Oh, wow.
And then that's why, like, at the end of, I think, the first one, the mayor or somebody jumps up and he goes, you're fired, and Murphy turns and says, thank you, and he, like, shoots him and he flies to the glass and falls to his death.
Oh, wow.
And then in the new one, the reboot, they were wearing bracelets, so they at the beginning of the movie, the reporter, she's reporting everything. She's like, so how do we know we're safe? And they're like, as long as you wear the bracelet, you're friendly. All the cyborgs know that you're part of the good guys. And he at the end of it, he's like trying to save somebody, and of course they've got the bracelet, and he's trying to like fight
bracelet power.
Yeah, basically, and he's trying, and his computer mind won't let him, and then I think the girl like pops the bracelet off or jerks the bracelet, it breaks it, and then it falls to the ground, and then he's like, thanks, and shoots him.
RFID this.
Yeah.
That sounds bracing because of bracelets.
Yeah, kind of. So, who do you think?
Oh, that's tough.
The Punisher?
I've been mulling it over since you've been specking it out.
I've only talked about one side. I've only talked about Robocop.
I don't know. Given Frank's illustrious military backgrounds, because almost every other movie, not even getting into the comics, we got the Kuwaiti incursion. He was in Nam. At some point, he had been at different military incursions so often that they misplace where he's from. But if we're saying like the Tom Jane one, like he might have a chance, but I see RoboCop kind of taking that. If we talk about Dolph Lundgren, because this was filmed in his prime, I'm just going to say stuff like, that guy was psycho crazy and ready to throw everything away to make it happen, so yes. Minus a jetpack, I think he could take RoboCop.
I can see that.
I forget the awesome War Journal guy, his name. He does so many awesome things. I found out he played Blackbeard in Pirates. Black Sails, rather. It's an amazing pirate show. That's why I thought it was called Pirates. Because it's about pirates.
It's a good assumption.
Black Sails, they also, yeah. But no, Ray Fiennes or some shit, I don't know his name. Ralph Fiennes, I don't know. But no, him, I think he could go toe-to-toe with the jetpack and maybe not die.
If anything, I would imagine Punisher expecting being the Punisher. I'm sure he would pull out some kind of RPG, like anti-tank.
Yeah. He's like the antithesis of Batman. If it's a gun, he's got it.
Yeah. If he pulls up with the war wagon, yeah, definitely.
If he's got microchip in a van less than a half a mile away, there's no telling what other ordnance he has set up. Like he literally, you made that clear to me when I thought bounce it off, and it became about Batman versus. No, it's not. They're on the opposite ends of the spectrum. Their superpowers are not money. It's not their training. It's preparedness.
Yeah. So, but in saying that, I don't recall how good Microsoft's computer skills are. Do you think he'd be able to hack RoboCop?
I hate that you even bring that up, because I think that's considering the year difference, because I don't remember if it was the year 3000 or something. But depending on if it's less than 50 years more advanced in our society, I think he could have a chance at it. Anything like, 51 and up, he would have a progressive struggle to failure. You bring up an excellent point, Miller.
I'll try.
I think that's excellent. Very thought-provoking, very evocative.
So in saying that, we're going to just say Punisher?
I mean, it's easy to say the truth. And, depending on jetpacks and what year his OS is.
But also, depending on if it's the reboot one, he's kind of like on the same level of Darth Vader. He's got like a chunk of his body left.
So he's more human and frail then. So it's definitely Frankie.
But that's if you go with the other one. If you go with the original one,
there's much less human left. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it, like a head, a brain stem, and a fucking arm? Fuck. Can't even tell you. It's been that long.
Yeah, that definitely have been that long. All right. Well, I'm definitely I'd definitely lean towards the Punisher.
Oh, it's Frankie for me all day. Frank Castle, no hassle. Don't sweat it. But no, yeah, he's a very compelling, albeit oversimplified character. Robocop is so simply complex.
He's definitely complex, but I don't know. Who would else be a good fight?
That's a pretty excellent question. Well, I mean, considering the arcana for which your shirt is representative, would you perchance believe a griffin or a hippogriff would topple the other in natural battle?
All right, so the hippogriff is the half eagle, half horse, or is that the half eagle, half lion?
I believe you were right the first time.
Okay.
Like the griffin is just like a bald eagle's head and wings on like a lion or a giant, beautiful, resplendent golden cat. Those are the distinct differences.
What are their front claws? Is that like the talons?
The hippogriff has the talons and the chicken legs.
Okay.
And the horse foot at the back end. And sometimes a snake for a tail.
Okay.
Sometimes. Depends on who's writing this epic.
I think if it's that one, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that back kick, like you've seen the damage of what a back kick from a horse or a donkey can do.
I feel like a good mule kick does have a lot to say, especially against the beak of a griffin.
But I mean, it'd be one of those, the talons and everything go in. If that back leg goes up, but I mean, I don't know if they have any mystical properties like
that. I couldn't tell you. I will say you bring up an excellent question, and I think if it's 50-50, it's easy all day. But I think the spunky attention to detail and like dexterity of neck of the eagle with the wings and the freaking, it's a cat body. You know how cats react to anything.
Yeah.
I think it's so evenly matched that it would have to be like based on its terrain, or potentially even if there was a chance that there's an elemental effect, something going on outside that's causing them to fight or something. What are the circumstances? I think it's so evenly split, it's hard for me to say. Me personally.
I'm going to go with the donkey kick.
I mean, donkey kick against bird beak, I will give you. But donkey kick against eagle head that sees it coming, it's over. That's a crotch bite to a big leg version of the carotid artery. It could go either way. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's too evenly matched. I don't know why I brought it up. I felt like I was on the spot.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the mule kick.
All right, mule kick. All right. Well, like I said, I feel like it could go either way. What is the situation? How is the attack occurring that it makes it so perfect that griffin was flying in too fast, too straight, to not be dexterous, to do a corkscrew maneuver of its neck around that leg, missing the hoof, and spearing gonads, gore, and arterial spray? Like, what are the odds? What are the conditions, Badinka?
I don't know. It's going to be one of those.
It's tough, right?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It can go either way.
Okay. I'll give that one to you.
I don't know. I'll take it, but I still see it as a 50-50 all day. It's all about everything around them. What's going on? What precipitated it? And who saw who first? Because think about it. In the animal world, the first one to balk is the one who lost.
Yeah, you're right. But, I mean,
there's so many situations that it could play out.
Yeah, I was going to counter, but I'm like, no, that's changing the whole scenario.
That's like Ra. Do you call my name? It's a song. It makes me feel. It's about Egypt or something. No, that was. I feel like I felt a little on the spot and just tried to do something quick and tasty, and I just couldn't. I will say this though. Like another ridiculous matchup. I'm just thinking comics because I don't know much about one character, but I know a little bit about the other. Like there's this thing that went on from between like 2000 and who knows to somewhere between 2011, 2014, 2015, where these characters would come out and they were female versions or an alternate dimension version of someone named Gwen. Like we had Gwen Poole, who was basically like a pink and white Deadpool, but adorable.
Yeah.
And had more than comic awareness and super healing mutate factor to make her anything special.
And an adorable pet shark.
Yeah, eventually she got one. And the sad time when she had to let him go. And then we have characters like, and this is the verses, Spider-Gwen, obvious. It's another Spider Lady, which is a good thing. We love inclusivity, but it's another white girl, so boo. So, two superheroine Caucasian femmes in tight costumes around the same age. One has spider powers. One knows that she's in a comic book because she's from our human dimension and can move like Duke throughout the comic panels in between comic pages and panels and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, she can go anywhere and see anything as long as it's been printed in a comic. And Spider-Gwen...
It's just Spider-Man, essentially.
She's a Gwen Stacy universal version dropped into the 616, and yes, she has spider powers. They're very cute hood and costume. They're both their costumes are two adorbs.
I feel like it's a cut and dry solution. I feel like it's not Spider-Gwen. I feel like it's Gwenpool.
I was hoping you were going to argue with me.
I'm sorry. You made
a good argument.
You just said this, and I'm like, so basically it's Deadpool versus Spider-Man. I'm going to go with Deadpool.
Pink Uzis, Katana, a land shark.
And the land shark is also, that kind of swayed me automatically, but...
Spider Chick can never touch the ground. Rule 1, the fight's over. No, you're right. I mean, now... I hate to do this to you like I did with your Punisher because I was like, which movie version are we talking? Who versus who? Like, I don't know.
There's a movie?
There's so many movies. No, I'm talking about the Punishers and the Robocops. In this instance, they've only had comic books and one has starred in cartoons. Let's call them CGI or hand-drawn, cel-shaded, whatever.
Okay.
However... at the times in their lives that we see Spider-Gwen prolifically in page and screen, it's always after she's established herself in another universe and slips into this one. Kind of like when Peter was like juggling being a late teenager, taking care of his aunt and working 2 jobs and being Spider-Man. Like, think that, but Gwen Stacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What time in her life do we have reference to that we can hold to all the times of reference that we have for Gwen, which is literally all printed time? She's basically a Time Lord on Page Master female Deadpool that isn't Gwen Stacy. She didn't have a dad die or anything. She has no trauma.
Really?
She's a wild card.
Okay, I did not know that.
She's a wild card. No, I think at some point one or both of her parents die, or the horror of it is that she can't get there and see them again or some such. I don't know. It's heartbreaking.
Sounds it.
She first appeared in a Howard the Duck backup.
That was a weird character.
Yes. Very, very weird, very storied, very typecast, very dependable.
I think that's going to be one of those movies that I'm just gonna elect not to watch.
Oh, which one? Is there one coming out or the old one?
The old one.
Oh, hey, that's on you. If you didn't like Back to the Future for the same reasons I did, you do not want to go watch Howard the Duck.
I don't like Back to the Future.
You'll get jealous of the main feminine character. If you don't want to feel jealous of Howard the Duck, you should probably not go watch Howard the Duck. Okay? Because Ducky gets down. PG-13. It's brutal.
Okay. I'd always told myself I'm not going to watch Howard the Duck. I'm not going to watch Howard the Duck. Now you're like, maybe I need to go watch Howard the Duck.
First 30 seconds to a minute into the film, PG-13. You see duck titties. Facts. PG-13. Howard the Duck. Main female lead as a punk rock star. Good girl. Who's not at all a slut. Or is she?
Oh,
and you know who played her. Marty McFly's mom.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Real young. She was so young. She still looks the same to this day, but so young. And then I don't know who the little person was who played Howard, but just by the magnanimous delivery and at least the audio, I'm assuming that actor had to have been Warwick Harris. Warwick Harris? His name is Warwick, which sounds cool. It's like a war, and it's only Ricks or something. Warwick.
Maybe.
He's the guy that played Willow and the main Ewok.
Willow?
Oh, you've never seen Willow?
I don't know, maybe.
Do you like fantasy? Do you like sorcery?
Yeah.
Do you like
I'm waiting for something random.
imprisoned mercenaries on their trail to redemption to rescue a baby and date a sorceress's daughter and then meet up with some little wizard guy who's really awesome who yells things like Kaya! I mispronounced that. He's a good dude. He's an incredible artist. I love his work on Doctor Who. He's done several characters. Sorry, I got too much into the actor. No, Val Kilmer plays this mercenary, Mad Mardigan. And then we got this other stuff going on with this cultish sorceress empire taking everybody over to countryside and a little bitty resistance, kind of like Star Wars,
Okay.
It's good. Willow. I don't recommend the TV show. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't know.
It sounds very familiar. I might have watched it, and it's just one of those that didn't leave a lasting impression on me.
You were itty bitty, and you probably never saw it once.
Probably. It's probably like Return to Oz.
Oh.
I only watched it once, but it's there.
It's there forever?
Yeah.
Really?
Have you ever watched it?
I have watched it hundreds of times. Yes. What is it, Veruca Balk when we were all kids? Is that who that was?
I don't remember who that was.
I could swear. But no. Just
I mean, that was a really weird movie.
Cogliostro, what was his name? Twirly Cog, Robot Maninston, the Tin Man, whoever he was.
Yeah, you're the army for the emperor for the.
You're probably right. No, I'm talking about
the Emerald City's military. It's a robot. It's not a human. You got to crank up its battery. You got to crank up its brain. You got to crank up its something else. There were certain things you had to crank up.
Do you remember that couch?
I thought it was a bed.
It was a bed with a part of a couch and it had the head of a deer.
Yeah, that was one of those what in the world?
Dude, they went everywhere and it worked. It was.
That was one of those movies that I remember seeing as a child.
Yes.
As a small child, and be like, Mom, what drugs causes this? What drugs do I need to stay away from?
Opium.
Oh, well, shit.
Opium. Opium and cocaine. You might be hardy enough to survive cocaine, but I have a family condition. My sweet, pitiful little heart. Not too much stimulants, ho ho.
But yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, what in the?
I'm there with you. But I stuck with it. I was like, what the fuck is this? I gotta see this again.
I haven't watched it in forever. I remember the Wheelers. Is that what they were called? The monsters in the beginning of it. I remember those.
They're like those creatures from the Dark Crystal, but evil on wheels.
Yeah.
You remember that video game Kinetica? It was like that, but horrifying.
Yeah.
Kinetica. That's a good game.
That was another movie I forgot all about. Dark Crystal.
Oh no! Don't even like when you brought up The Secret of Oz, and like the one time you saw it as a young person, and it just like shocked you for the rest of your life. Never seen it again. That was Mirror Mask for me.
Mirror Mask.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. Oh my god, I need a smoke. Do you mind?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, Mirror Mask. Oh fuck. Okay, sorry.
Did you ever watch?
I don't want to talk about it.
There was a movie. It was Netflix. It started with a B.
Don't tell me it was Blame.
No, it wasn't Blame.
Are you sure?
Yes, it was Bandersnatch.
Oh, the Bandersnatch.
Yeah, no, it was
Babadook.
I don't know about that.
Never mind.
No, but I know 100% it was Bandersnatch.
Really?
It was It was a movie. So the book, I don't know if the book is real, but I know in the movie, the book lets you choose your story, and you
get one of those choose your own adventure books.
Yeah. But
okay.
They made it a TV show.
Oh.
They made it a movie, and if you go through the whole thing, there's actually an ending to it. But if you pick the wrong thing, it just kind of puts you back.
Or kills you.
It kills you, but then it's like, do you want to make a different choice? And then it puts you back to where
you left off.
Where you made the second to last choice that you're about to die. And
red herring, it throws you off the scent.
Yeah. So I watched that movie. That is you had a lot of choices, but I was watching it and I picked up on something. It gives you the illusion of choice, but there's the actual story.
Right.
So you can pick whatever, but if you actually go follow the story, there's only one story.
I mean, now that you mention it, it makes me think of the Invincible Kimmy Schmidt movie, and I agree there is one main story. However, the main difference between your horror movie and my adorable feel-good Yes She Can, Badenka, is hers ends in like 3 or 4 different stories.
Oh.
Like one of them's real short, but they all go somewhere funny, and sometimes they even intersect. And if they intersect so badly, so many options you have, it won't let you proceed. You have to start over.
Really?
Like you're died or something. Like one of those, yeah. I'll watch that thing like 8 times.
Shoot. I watched that. I watched it probably 3 times, maybe 4 times. That Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch? How long ago do you remember it coming out? Because it sounds like 11, 20, somewhere in between there.
It was somewhere 2018, 19, somewhere in that time era.
I should have stuck with 20.
I know it was before COVID.
Wasn't near when we first met.
Oh, it was way after that.
So yeah, 18, 19.
It was around the time Doom Patrol was coming out.
18. No, 20. Wait, what? Because I got to it late. I got to it in 2020.
Okay, so it was somewhere in that time era.
So it was either 2018, 2019, or 2020.
Yeah. Yes. I mean,
it's one of those things that brought Brendan Fraser back.
Oh, I'm so glad he came back.
Yeah, he was missed.
He was definitely missed.
I hate that he destroyed his body for his craft. But I'm so glad he's rocking the dad bod and making it okay for the rest of us like a freaking champ he's always been.
Oh yeah.
He deserves one of those man show salutes. You remember those?
Zigzag and zigzag.
You know, all that. The Juggies. Anyway, that was off topic. ADD.
I remember that show. I think I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's just like clickbait or whatever, but I remember seeing they were talking about doing a what is it? The Mummy Returns again, but it's the Aztecs, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it.
I kind of feel how you feel. However, at this late a stage in the proverbial game of the flesh bag's lifespan, I've like accepted all the weird things that I would normally let bother me about the Marvel movies. I try not to crap all over DC movies as much, so I feel like I'm much more forgiving, and I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I 100% agree with what you're saying, but I do wish that they elaborated more on like the tattoo that he got.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a story arc that they started, and it just kind of went to the wayside.
Yeah, and then they started making Scorpion King movies.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too until we started talking about it.
That didn't make any sense.
None.
Because Scorpion, that was like
the second or third movie, right?
it was the second one. Oh, that CGI was so rough.
So bad. Did not hold up.
No.
And for the time, it's unacceptable because things were getting really good back then.
Yeah, I feel like they probably ran out of money because like the rest of the movie was great.
Yeah.
But then they got CGI on that one. I'm like, that was hot garbage.
I feel bad for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Poor guy. Like he was the basis. That ruined him. For me.
Yeah.
And then when the Tooth Fairy came out, I couldn't look at him the same way again.
I forgot about Tooth Fairy.
Oh, he's in G.I. Joe. I wouldn't know. Hope he's doing well. I know he's doing well for himself.
I did not like the second G.I. Joe.
The
first one. Okay, let me back up.
Yeah.
I liked G.I. Joe, the part when they're doing the donut and Bruce Willis, I think, is shooting the gun.
The live action movies. I haven't seen one of them yet. Tell me more. Tell me more.
So the first one was great.
Okay.
The second one, The Rock got thrown into it, and I was like, this is garbage.
So
I'm not a
shark.
Do what?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is the shark. He jumped the shark.
Yeah, he jumped in, and it's like, well, this was so much better when you were not in it. And well, that's just my opinion. I mean, other people might like it. I was just like, I don't care.
Adds more fuel to my conspiracy.
And then, what was it? But like I said, Bruce Willis, he was in it, and they're doing donuts, and they're shooting these people, and they're like, "You okay?" And he goes, "Well, my blood pressure is a little high, or my cholesterol is a little high." It was just stuff like that he was doing. I was like, "Oh, this is funny."
Like, I'm a man of a certain age who has to eat less red meat because of it. Little jokes and quips.
But, yeah, that, and then they, like, broke into his house, and he's, like, ninja man in the background, like...
John McClane.
Exactly. He's pulling one of those off, and...
I know how to stealth.
Yeah. He's doing all this, and then they're like, "Oh, it's you," and they're like, "What do you want?" "I need your help." "Oh, okay."
Golly. It makes me... I've been meaning to have a marathon of the Fast and Furious movies. It makes me kind of want to go do that at some point again.
I remember the last Fast and Furious I watched. I think the last one I watched was like... He found out he had a kid.
Oh, wow. Dom's Legacy, Fast and Furious 18.
Pretty much.
You never turn your back on family.
Yeah. and then people are coming back from the dead. And you're like, what the? I'm pretty sure a C-130 rolled on top of that guy. No? Okay, just me? Okay.
They stopped making those Triple X movies, so they had to double down on the FF.
So, Triple X, the first one, I thought was great. I thought it was awesome.
Same.
The second one, it wasn't bad. I liked it, but I didn't like it, if that makes sense. Like, if it was its own thing,
It was just okay.
yeah.
It's fair to say.
And then...
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great.
And then, what is it? The Rise of Xander Cage? The third Triple X movie?
Oh my god, I've never seen it.
I've got it. It's still wrapped up. But, like, I feel like it was too late. Too long, too late.
Too little, too late. Too
Yeah.
long a movie to sit through. Could not wait.
I think if they did that one instead and kept it going, because I think that was one of his early movies, because I know he was in, like, Saving Private Ryan for, like, a small second, so I know he wasn't a big actor then.
I don't remember the guy. I don't know who's in it.
Vin Diesel.
Diesel?
Vin Diesel?
Oh. I didn't know he was in the third one. I thought the second or the third one was Ice Cube.
The second one was Ice Cube.
Oh.
The second one was Ice Cube, and then the third one they went back and...
Let's do a backstory movie.
Well, that was what the first one was. The second one was Ice Cube, and then you're like, this doesn't make sense.
He got tired of being Are We There Yet?
This was before Are We There Yet?
Are we done yet? Yes, Ice Cube, you can be done. Just go back to music, please.
Hey, I'll be honest. I think I got all of his albums.
Oh, I'm down.
I like it. I'm down with it.
I'm down. When you come to my town, bow down, okay? Yes, Cube.
I think... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I Am the West
Ooh.
is my favorite album by him.
Ooh. Man's got taste.
So...
I mean, I wasn't super into NWA, but it was there when I needed it.
I was down for it. I was okay with it.
Yeah. I loved his featured works with Korn. Like
With Korn?
Yeah, he did like 2 or 3 songs with Korn.
I didn't know that. What songs did he do with Korn?
Well, Korn once featured on one of his like 2000s albums before he started doing all that crazy acting stuff. And it was like, I only remember it because the music video, and they were all dressed up in suits, and they were maybe in a mirror dimension or in hell or something. And then like Korn was playing the background music for his Riznap, right?
Yeah.
That was vernacular back then. Now, the time when Cube had featured on albums with Korn, that's harder for me to remember because I was stoned for a lot of it.
Okay.
And, you know, state-dependent memory, I'm sober. But no, they back in the Bakersfield days when Korn was getting big, they were out there having all those parties when you knew everybody back in the day.
Okay.
Like, everybody out there in the music scene at the time was all hanging out together, every genre.
Okay.
You had Cube, you had Slim Shady, you had Dre, Snoop, you had all the guys from Korn, all the guys from Orgy, Kitty, a bunch of other bands, and then tons of other indie artists just walking around hanging. Like, they would have block parties like that back in the day. Kind of like our old family get-togethers as children, we probably remember. Crawfish boils and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. That's what endeared that era of music at that time for me. I just went on a tangent. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk or what the fuck ever.
No, you're good. It also just reminded me that I really want some crawfish.
Yeah, crawfish would be nice. It's almost the season, isn't it? Or is the season over again?
It's such a short season. I mean, you sneeze, it's over. So
You know, if you're feeling like doctoring up a bit, you can get all natural ingredients and just go buy some frozen tails for $8 a pound. You gotta clean them off first. Like, you gotta wash them, strain them, wash them again, strain them. But then they don't taste like anything at that point.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna see if I can get some crawfish.
I mean, you say it now, but now all I'm thinking is all fresh ingredients. I'll just get a bunch of cayenne, dried cayenne, instead of using, peppers because I can't find them all. Get them bitches up in a bisque or a stew or something.
I haven't had a good crawfish bisque in a long time.
Make myself an old lady soup to put on some rice.
There you go. Next time I do it, I'm definitely gonna throw some jalapenos in. Some Cajun boiled jalapenos.
Oh, the last times I was invited to your shindigs, we had some very interesting and very fun veg, like the seasonal, the thing that everybody was doing for that season because it was popular, the asparagus, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, was it the celery? We did the celery because, not using celery salt is less salt and all that. We went crazy on veg last year.
Yeah, we did. When we did it,
not a bad way.
No. When we did it that last time, that was the last time I pulled out my boil pot. So
there's one in my backyard. I gotta do stuff to it.
But yeah, no, that was the last time I used it. It really truly bums me out. That was the last time I used it. I'm like, I got it. I want to use it. Everybody works.
Yeah. It's so weird. This is almost like the only time we get to spend together anymore. I hate that for us. But we'll make the best of it by catching up and all. I will say, we have different rotational lives now. We're out just making it work as adults or whatever, because, the friendship stuff, the realities, the trivialities, everything that goes with it, the good and the bad, which for us, there's so little bad except for the jobs.
Yeah, but I do feel like we're in trouble because HR is making us pretty much wear microphones all the time now.
Well, I mean, I guess someone was watching the tapes. I overheard something from my HR office the other day. I forgot to tell you. Someone overheard our tapes. Like, we were, those yottabytes of data that they're storing in Nevada, 40 feet underground in a concrete bunker that's lead shield?
Yeah.
Those yottabytes are going to store everyone's body cams, everyone's service cameras, everything that they can grep from our own device sources. And then they mandated, after hearing some of the things they thought they heard and realizing that it's not what they thought they heard, but it was. I mean, it wasn't.
I wonder if it's because they just couldn't understand what we were saying on the camera.
Exactly. Now they want to know. Fuck them. Fuck around and find out. I'm on the clock.
Do it to it, Willis.
But no, I ain't mad. It was funny, though. We're interesting enough and stuff that people that already pay for us want more. So if you see anything like this on the internet, it's obvious. Someone in the company made a little extra money off of us. What else is new with the umbrella, eh?
Yeah. Oh, I hope they buy us lunch.
I'm sure. I mean, remember the last meal we got? The little emblem hanging off the bag as if they weren't trying to disguise where it was from. Like, we didn't know what all the wrappers inside were.
Yeah.
Like, thanks. Like, you could have just told us we were getting Taco Bell. We would have been okay with that.
Yeah, but how much nicer does it look when the company has their official bag on it? Well, okay, let me rephrase it.
When the company has its official bag, you're right.
Yeah.
They're Nazis. And you know it.
Well, I mean, it's really, how official can you get when you have a emblem taped to a bag and you're like, thanks.
That emblem probably cost them between 2 to 32 cents to print. and that's how much extra they're willing to throw away to secure our food, make us feel special about the company we work for. That's kind of nice when you think about it like that.
I guess. I mean,
it was shit, but I would have much preferred them to be like, hey, here's a Taco Bell gift card.
or just like, here's a Walmart gift card, or I don't know, something that I could have picked. I don't know.
Here's an Amazon.
There you go, an Amazon. That's what I should have said. Amazon.
No, he's also a Nazi. Everybody's Nazis now. All the good and bad people are Nazis.
I got in trouble again today.
Yeah.
They still said, they told me my shirt was still too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah, well, they're a needy, achy, breaky heart bunch. But at least they got you to break up the dull, lame moments of their mundane lives. You shine, you crazy diamond. You shine.
Thank you. I just grabbed a random shirt, and then I walk in, and HR just calls me, and they're like, I thought we told you not to wear that shirt to work anymore. And I was like, well, I forgot.
Oh, that was you they were talking to.
Because apparently wearing a shirt about people rising from the dead is a little too fresh.
Oh, no, Jesus is fine, but that guy, yeah. Heaven forbid you bring up the whole, I forgot his name. There's another Bible guy that came to life.
Lazarus?
That's the guy. Just like the pits.
I wasn't a fan of Raj Al Ghul.
Which one? Or like as a character on a whole?
Character as a whole. Ali Al Ghul.
Well, that's the thing that makes her interesting is Raj.
I know, but I was just saying, like, they've never drew a bad Talia.
I get you. I will agree with you. Some of his art direction has been more Stephen Strange than,
That's what he looks like. I've always been like, he looks so familiar. Strange. He looks like Doctor Strange.
It looks like who they stole him from. I can't confirm or deny that. I always felt he should have been closer to like Craven the Hunter.
I'm curious how that movie's gonna go.
Oh, dude, I watched it.
Oh, you did?
It was so good, bad.
It was so good, bad?
Yes, it's a B movie. It's well done. There's so much money poured into it. The acting is all there. Everybody's trying their best to pretend like they're going to make it in the Marvel Universe for Disney. And they did really well. It just wasn't amazing. It was just really good.
Okay.
What was it? The guy that played Pietro Maximoff in the Marvel movies, like the original, before they killed him off or whatever. Spoiler alert, whoever's listening. No, same guy, I believe. If not him, it's the guy that played Kick-Ass.
That was a good movie.
Oh yeah, I like both of them. I love the comics. They did something special with the movies that kind of made me appreciate both of them more. Like the story was the same, but it took a weird divergent path in a yellow wood.
I need to watch the second Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah. You're going to go back to it, and it's either going to be too little too late, or it's going to be like, I needed this in my life.
I feel like it'll be the second one because it was made not too long after the first one.
Oh, hey, I'm just trying to manage your expectations. It's going to be mind-blowing, but I don't want you to get there, get your mind blown, and say it wasn't mind-blowing enough.
I wish Hit Dad stayed alive longer.
He plays an integral part in this movie.
And then Hit Girl, that was funny. She's like, what do you want for your birthday? And she goes, I want a Barbie doll. And he's like, what did I do wrong raising you? And she's like, I'm just kidding. I just want a butterfly knife.
Thank you. I don't remember if it was exactly the same in the movies, but I remember in the comics, he bought her two. She got really good.
Oh, I'm sure.
I have a friend who's really good with one. I haven't seen him operate one in over 20 years, but yeah.
I was helping a CEO the other day with their computer, and I had to open up a small box, like a little box, like literally a little tiny little box.
Yeah.
And it was taped up, and I was like going for my key because it was not worth pulling a pocket knife out. And then he's like, "Oh, you need a knife?" And I was like, "Sure." And he pulls out this field knife. And I'm like, "Why do you got a field knife?" He goes, "You never know."
Who was this again?
This is the CEO of the company.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
And then I was like, "Oh, thanks." And he goes, "And if that's not enough," and then he just pulls out this butterfly knife and does the quick hand motions. I'm like, I didn't even know you could move like that.
The flourish, yeah.
And then he goes,
It's a very showy knife for a reason.
"Oh, yeah." And he just does the thing, and he's swirling it around on his finger, and he grabs it, and it's open. He goes, "But I've also got my backup." I'm like, "Thanks."
You got to be prepared. The man's right.
I mean, you're not
You
wrong.
know what's coming.
But it was just hilarious to me that he just pulls it out, spins it. One, as quiet as he is and as laid back as he is, I wasn't expecting him to be able to do that. But then on the other knife, the first knife, I'm like, that looks like almost like a bayonet knife, like on an old M1 Grand.
Oh, wow. It was that thin, so it was a stiletto almost.
It was a nice knife.
What would you say the blade was like 6, 8 inches long? Or was it closer to 13?
No, it was definitely not 13. I'd probably say it was close.
Like a 9-inch knife? Just
it was bigger. It was bigger than my palm. So my palm is about
3.5, 4 inches?
I'd say about 4 inches. I wear a large glove. I think that was 4 inches. It said. So it was probably a 6-inch knife. The only reason I say bayonet is because it had the channels where it would slide down onto the barrel.
Yes.
But I didn't know they made bayonets that short. That's short.
It's like an aftermarket thing, but yes. I have a family member, or a set of them really, who collect historical military weapons, specifically, originally used bayonets, like old bandoliers from certain eras, specific caliber and range finding weapons.
Well,
I got a very nice collection of bayonets, I will say.
Nice. I do remember when I was in high school, or was I just graduated high school? No, I was still in high school. Me and a buddy of mine, he was always like practicing throwing knives, and that was the first couple times I throw knives, and he got me into. At this point in my in my life, I would say I was okay at throwing a knife from a good distance, and he wanted to step up the ante, and he was like, "Let's toss knives." So we're about the length of his side of his house, so I'm gonna say we're about 40 to 45 feet from each other, and
like toss to catch.
Yeah.
Like
we are
circus shit.
We are humming these knives, and we're going, and he's throwing one, I'm throwing one, and I'm catching it, and then as soon as I catch it, I throw it back. And we're not even looking, and we're doing it, and it ends up after.
Banana.
I don't see one without a headlight. Oh, him over there. Okay. Like I said, after a while, after a couple throws, we get the throws down, because one knife is heavier, one knife is not, and the one that is not light is a bayonet knife, and when you catch it, the channel where it latches onto the barrel keeps hitting the top of your hand, and it hurts.
Yep.
And
timing.
The timing was good. We got it, and
dexterity.
We were throwing it probably. I remember hearing a few songs play, so I'm gonna say conservatively probably like 15-20 minutes we were throwing knives back and forth, and then we started getting tired, and we stopped, and the last one, of course, like we were doing great. Like I said, we were humming these knives back and forth, and they're sharp. And one nicked me.
Mm.
And when I say nicked me, I mean like
Real good?
like it was a prick. Because I was catching it, and it looked like not Iron Man, Captain America catching Mjolnir, just catching it and bringing it in. So I was swinging with it, and when I caught it, the blade had spun, and I grabbed like the middle of the hilt, and it spun around, and it like got just a little bit right here.
Oh, the meat.
A little bit of meat, like
your leathery man hand stop the bullet. Stand bayonet.
Yeah, so we were doing that, and then like I said, after that,
pretty manly, quite manly.
wasn't trying to. We were bored, and of course, you know, you're young and you're dumb, so you're just doing. You're like, hey, this sounds fun. Okay, cool. And then you're like, oh shit, that was sharp. That could have really hurt.
Hey man, everybody wants to be in the circus.
But yeah, so we did that, and then I think that was like the height of when I was good at throwing knives, and then after that, it's like, and I'm still garbage.
No, there's always time. One day.
I've thought about getting back into it and slinging knives, but it's like, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna throw it, I'm gonna lose the knife. My lawnmower is gonna find the knife. Whatever's nearby is gonna feel the knife, and I don't feel like I'm gonna do all that.
Yeah, I respect that. You just described a lot of my childhood. I respect the hell out of that.
But yeah, so.
You say lawnmower. The earliest memory I have of a lawnmower is one of my uncles came over to mow our backyard, and then after he had left, we'd find that he accidentally ran over a turtle.
Oh, that sucks.
It was the worst thing ever because it was just a part of the shell, not the whole thing. So no matter what he did, damn if you did, damn if you didn't. Turtle meat.
Yeah. That's the only animal that I feel bad whenever it gets killed.
Yeah, really, truly.
Because it's like, it really doesn't, it can't just run out the way. It's like, oh, great, this tire's coming and it's going to get me. All I can do is say, goodbye. Peace.
Such a peaceful, beautiful, noble creature, which can beat hares, but not steam locomotion or automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, and then, shoot, what was it? I remember when I used to mow yards, I had to mow this open field, and the best way to do it was just do a circle. And then, knock on wood, as far as I'm aware, I never got any turtle. Because I'd have to
knowing the kind of man you are, I'm just going to trust your word.
I had to overlap it, so then when I went, I would also see right where I was, and I'm like listening to music, staring down at the ground because there's nothing else to do for the 2.5 hours it would take to cut this yard.
Right.
And except just going in a circle until I finally got to the middle, and so cutting it, as I'm cutting it, nothing would happen, and then when I start getting to the middle of it, because the guy had money but he didn't like spending it, I guess that's what happens when you got money, you don't like to spend it so you can save it, but he'd like wait till the yard was like up to my thigh, have me cut it, and then if it was so bad, then he'd get mad that I'd charge him twice because I'd have to cut it twice to get it to look
right,
to look nice. And when you slowly start shrinking it and getting it to the middle, all of a sudden when you're making passes, all these field mice would start running out. Never ran one over, but it was just like,
that is so cool.
You just
the imagery, I got it. It's beautiful.
So you just start driving, all of a sudden the grass will start moving, and then all like 5 field mice run that way. You get to the other side, another 5 will go that way. They're not running to the middle of the thing. They're running out.
Yeah. They're doing the opposite of what a buffalo would do, but they're living.
Yeah, no, they live. But
Oh, yeah, I feel you. That is an experience.
for me, it was another Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Mm. Wednesday nights, about halfway over the week, depending on what side of the weekend you're working. And
That's true.
It was always the name of a really cool kid, and what used to or may still be a really cool artist, specifically guitarist.
Did you know they're making a season 2 of Wednesday?
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
College days. So they are coming now that she's adult. They're going to make it even more creepily raunchy for the not tweens and now all the everyone else. I thought it was good. I'm not complaining. I'm just, I'm a man of a certain age, and this was marketed to all of us.
I only watched like 3 episodes.
They tried to modernize a dance that Wednesday Addams did in a TV show decades ago.
I remember that.
It became viral. Everybody's like, wow, this is so ethereal and different and moving and stirring and weird and kind of creepy maybe. And back in the 50s, 60s, whenever the hell they shot that original one, she was just doing a little jig, something she just kind of like come up with on the spot.
Well, that sounds about right.
I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's brought into a new era. Everything's golden. Jenna Ortega is an adorable person. So, yeah, they're going to make another season. Everybody's going to watch it.
I remember I think the first thing that I watched that she was in was You.
I don't think I've seen You.
You is a good murder movie, TV show. It definitely goes deep. The guy, he bookstore owner, repairs it, and then he's got like this plastic dungeon in the bottom of his thing, and he kills some people and he hides it, and then he gets this entire plot of how he killed them.
Wow.
And how he's keeping it a secret, and then he starts lying, and then it just evolves from there. So he goes from a little store to a big store to a library to a college and then I think now they're about to start the next one where his wife is like some very powerful politician or businesswoman or something like that, and they're gonna do the thing.
Do the thing. I don't know why, but somewhere in that explanation, all I could think of was the labyrinth.
Now that was a very unique movie. I'm trying to say that in a nice way. That was a weird movie.
It was a very weird movie.
Like, I don't have a problem with David Bowie, but that was too much of David Bowie.
Oh, they showed a lot of David Bowie.
I could have.
You never knew how much David Bowie there was until you saw the labyrinth.
You're like, I'm a David Bowie fan. You're like, are you? And they're like,
I always was. And then I was like, I'm a little kid watching this movie, never noticing it. I'm getting a yet much younger man watching this movie, never noticing it. And then I watch it with this woman that I've been with, and I'm 26, and I'm like, oh, I see why you like it. She was like,
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, I didn't realize what was all going on, and then I remember my dad walking in, and he's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "The Labyrinth." And I was like, "I've seen this before," and he goes,
all he saw was David Bowie's dong.
And he's like, "Turn it off." And normally he's like, "Okay, watch your movie or whatever," but
it's like, it's time to go to bed or something.
Oh yeah, no, he was just like, "Turn it off, put it in the kitchen."
Something.
And I was like, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "You don't have to watch that." I was like, "But I've seen it before."
That was classic, dude.
He's like, "Well, you may have seen it before, but I didn't realize you've seen it before, and you're not watching it again."
I wonder if that's something your mom watched with y'all or something.
I don't remember.
I doubt that, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm wondering if maybe like if it was like on the Disney Channel or something, because like I remember, you know, you instead of buying movies, you when it comes on, you record it on like TNN or
with your VHS or on ABC and Sundays. No, I feel you. I was there.
So
when the revolution comes, I'll be right there with braids in my hair.
So I remember like doing all that, and shoot, I remember we had listening to the cassette player, and whenever the radio was on, and I thought I discovered, sliced bread or electricity or someone.
Music.
And when you're listening to the music, you're like, oh, I like the song, or I hear the intro, and I hit record, and it would record the radio. I was like, oh, this is the best.
Same. I used to do that with music videos on VHS and with cassette. I'm feeling you, man.
I remember doing that. I did that with, I forget which music channel it was. I can't remember if it was like MTV when they were playing music videos, or if it was CMT, or I can't remember which one it was. But I remember just like having a whole tape worth of music, and it was just the videos of it.
Hell yes. My mom was a part of one of those video clubs that send you a VHS every month or some shit.
Yeah.
And like one of them was like country music, and then she started subscribing just to the country music one. So I had these little VHS of little weird interviews and like 3 music videos from a popular country artist of the time. It was ridiculous. It was great, but it was ridiculous. The 2000s was a very experimental time for country artists. In the 90s, popularity waned.
Oh, wasn't bad.
No.
But I remember that. I remember.
I'm just saying, Bubblegum Country was a bop. That's all I gotta say.
I'm thinking of records right now. So I remember when I was young, like 4 or 5. I think I wasn't going to school yet, but I remember like I don't know. I know I was able to walk. I know I was able to talk. I know I wasn't in school yet, or I was on the cusp of about to be going to school, and I remember playing with the record player all the time. And then I remember the one thing I hated is like some of the records needed this adapter, and I don't know if it was because of my kid hands or
yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it was probably because of my kid hands. Like you put this thing on, instead of it being the little tiny little hole, it turned it into like a bigger hole to fit these other type of records. And you put it on, you set your needle, or you get the needle in position, and then you slowly let it drop, and then it would play. But I remember doing that and hating it when I took the adapter off, because it always took me, I'd struggle with it.
I never got a hold of any 45s myself.
Is that what those were?
The little ones?
It was a little one, but it had a big hole in the middle of it?
Yes.
Okay.
They had to put that weird symbol in the middle to make it adapted to the...
No, that was the thing. It didn't take the symbol. It, like, you had to put this... It was like, I don't know, probably like... I'm trying to think how big a small kid's hand. Probably about that big or so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit bigger. And you slide it onto the shaft, enlarge it, and then you put your record on it.
That was another kind. That was the one I was used to. I was asking if the little kid thing, but I realized it's about the mechanism, was because of that weird little thing that some people had to put into their 45s so they could adapt to regular record player pin posts, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, but no, I didn't have one of those fancy things. It was just the...
It was the OG 45 player.
Maybe it wasn't a 45 player. But yeah, I remember that, and then I remember... what was the other thing?
I still to this day get harassed by family, friends, and family about the Ninja Turtles record I used to blast at like 5 a.m. whenever I thought everybody was asleep too long and I needed to listen to some fucking music.
Hey, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, like, was it like...
Oh, no, it was a big-ass album.
Was it like the movie, like the live-action movie, or was this like...
Live-action movie soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
The first movie.
So you'd start... Oh, wait, that wasn't The Secret of the Ooze. That was the other one.
I think I got The Secret of the Ooze on cassette, and then I played it so much it burnt out.
No, I was thinking like you were blaring like "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go."
You know I was. Ninja, rap.
Didn't he like write that song in like 2 minutes or 3 minutes? Like,
oh, I believe it.
Or he showed up and he wrote it.
Oh, I believe it. I forget his real name, but yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice can make it. There was a time when he was the best, and now he's a forerunner for guys like Fred Durst who are making comebacks. You know, when Biscuit's out there playing, people are into, Nickelback again, so why not? Everybody's getting a second chance. All the things we listened to when we were like middle-aged children is now classic rock.
Yeah, it kind of hurts.
Oh, it super hurts. However, it's hilarious.
Who is it?
Someone was listening to classic rock station, and they told me what they got out of the car when they were listening to it was Linkin Park.
That hurt. Okay.
Yeah, that's how old we're getting.
You didn't have to hurt me like that.
I intended no such pain.
I watched a TikTok the other day, and somebody was talking about that. They're like, all right, we're going to go on this road trip. We're going to listen to some classic rap and all this stuff. His dad's like, oh, yeah. And in his mind, he's thinking, like, Tupac, Biggie, all that stuff. And then the kid starts playing music, and they're like, why are you playing Snoop Dogg? Why are you playing Exhibit? Why are you playing Little John? He's like, because this is classic rap. He's like, no.
It is now.
And then he's like, the pain.
Oh, yeah. Felt that stung when I heard that. I was there. I was there when it was written. No.
Yeah. Basically.
But no, I feel that pain. I also feel the aging neck pain that comes with pretending to try like you're living a fitter, more productive, healthier, nutritional life. Or something. Yeah, the age is catching up. Full-fledged adults. But on occasion, we still feel like 20-somethings.
We're young at heart.
Somewhere.
I don't know where. When I find it, I'll let you know.
I am young at big middle toe. I know that.
You're young at your middle toe?
Yeah, my big middle toes, they're the youngest part of me. So they're still growing. I'm hoping they keep growing and I get like velociraptor claws or something cool.
Don't talk to nobody in my house.
I'll start doing capoeira or something.
I have to cut my nails so often.
Oh, yeah.
They'll slice open everything.
If you don't cut them at least once every 6 to 8 days, it becomes a hassle. I like to call them my bedroom talons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because if a woman doesn't complain about them, it doesn't mean she's never going to stay over again. But if she does complain about them, there's a 50-50 chance that you can still make this work, or you will never hear from her complaining bitch ass again.
All I was going to say is I brush against something or any human, animal, dog, cat, they complain or cry that it's sharp. I'm like, oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you.
You have some vociferous plants. Must have been lab grown.
Nope, all natural.
So you never got a mani-pedi?
What is that?
It's a mani-pedi for mans.
I don't know what any of those words are.
Yeah, because you're a man. You know those movies where all the people are going on like these shopping sprees and it's like a montage and there's like a ice cream, Orange Julius or something, and then they get like their feet and hand nails done and they'll often wear a towel and a towel.
Yeah.
Those are mani-pedis.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Spa day. If a woman tells you she's going to a spa day, she's either going to have that happen or get fucked and that happen.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They would know.
I like that red.
That's a nice red. Rather nice.
All right.
Get it.
Let's have some fun.
Onward and upward.